Watson. Touchdown!
Watson takes a snap, rolls right, looks into the end zone. Hunter Renfrow caught it! Touchdown! 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 With a second left.
Here now, Watson goes right, looks to throw, has a man open, touchdown. Hunter Renfrow with 1 second remaining.
Watson.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Tigers Roar. The students were happy over in Clemson, South Carolina.
Yes, they were.
As Clemson wins the national championship, we decided to open with that clip. He's Jordy Hultberg. I'm Tommy Kreisand here on a Wednesday night with the original Aaron. Jordy, what a football game.
Tremendous.
Monday night, huh?
Vegas took a bath.
They did.
Clemson wins.
I bet they can still pay the light bill, though.
They can still play the light bill. But congratulations to Dabo Swinney. And you see what it takes. You got to have a quarterback that plays out of his mind, and that's what Deshaun Watson did. And they win on the last second. 1 second left in the game. Amazing. Great game.
It was
great fourth quarter.
Tremendous.
Great fourth quarter.
Yeah, the lead changed three different lead changes in the last 4+ minutes. A lot of talent on the football field on both sidelines, and Clemson wins the title. Some people said, I don't know if it was better than USC Texas back in the late 90s. I say, well, it's better if for no other reason than the fact that it was a rematch of the game from the year before. Just the mere fact that it was a rematch of the championship game the year before makes it better than USC Texas.
Best line I heard.
What's that?
Jim Harbaugh. Did you watch the game? No, I fell asleep. I TiVo'd it. Is TiVo still around?
I don't believe that he didn't watch it.
He said he was at the Kentucky Vanderbilt basketball game.
Why was he there? Recruiting somebody? Well, he can't be recruiting.
No, he was there with
Homer.
Period. He's friends with Homer Drew, Bryce Drew's dad. Anyway, make a long story short, he said he TiVo'd it. I didn't think TiVo existed anymore.
I think he watched the game personally, but that's just my opinion. I certainly could be wrong. A couple of things about that game. Again, just unbelievable the way it finished. And I wasn't real wild about Dabo Swinney before this game. But seeing his reaction after the game, listening to his interview, reading some things since then, I think I'm a Dabo Swinney fan now.
He's terrific. He's built quite a program there. Here's what I find fascinating. And notice Alabama never gets beat 31-0 like Ohio State was beat. You got to go down to the wire to beat them. They've had 3 different quarterbacks, 3 different years. Clemson's had a great quarterback for 4 years. Now we'll see what the Dabo Swinney and Clemson can do without him. Alabama stayed here. Clemson's got to drop down. There's no way they have a quarterback that can play like him.
They'll be in the second 10,
but
maybe 15 to 20.
99 offensive plays.
Wow.
99. Michael Barnett sent me a stat. LSU played Clemson in that bowl game a couple years ago. Clemson ran 100 plays in that game. You can't get that in the NFL. There's not enough time in the game.
No.
But that was a 4-hour game.
Speaking of that, first off, TV ratings were down, but internet streaming numbers were up 21%. Okay.
People are watching on the computers?
Telephones and stuff. That's where it's going.
How do you watch on a telephone with a small screen?
Some people like to do that.
Some with the big screen.
You remember when we were younger, you had medium-sized TVs.
Yeah. And
then everybody got a little bitty when they put in the kitchen. You remember that?
Right.
A little black and white, so Mom could watch TV while she was cooking. Then they went to the big screens.
Yeah, the bigger the better.
Now they're going back to the little. You got to watch it on the phone.
I can't watch it on the phone.
I don't want to watch a football game on this. Maybe a quick highlight, I'll watch it, but I'm not going to watch a 4-hour and 8-minute game on this. And I got a comment about that in a minute.
How did all those other ways to watch the game work out? Because I just watched the game. You got Bill Walton.
They did the megacast, yeah.
They said Bill Walton doing things.
The streaming numbers were up. Now they're putting all of that together, so it's a little misleading.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned, and I want to talk about it. this whole idea about the games being long, 4 hours and 8 minutes or whatever, that's, to me, is propaganda that's concocted by the networks. I've never heard a fan, a coach, or a player complain about the length of the game. I mean, do you think anybody was in the stadium the other night and says, you know what, this game's been going on for over 3 hours, let's leave? I was sitting with a group of 40 people watching the game. Nobody said, you know what, this game's been on too long, I'm leaving. 40 to nothing, everybody leaves.
Yep.
But that is a narrative, that's the new word in the last year or so, being put out by the networks, because on Saturdays they want as many games and as many markets to cram in to make money. Okay? I've never heard anyone else complaining about the length of games. Again, if they would have played for 30 more minutes the other night, I would have kept watching.
The NFL has it figured out. NFL, you start here, you're going to end here. Come heck or high water, you're going to
Probably
end.
85% of the NFL games end exactly when they want them to.
On the dot.
Right.
It's amazing.
Well, but in the NFL, there's a 12-minute halftime. Soon as both teams leave the field, they start a clock, 12 minutes. You have to be back on the
And
field,
you got to
ready
get off
to go.
the field in less than 5.
And you got to be ready to go when they say ready to go.
Right.
It's the shortest thing going. And, of course, we know the halftime of the championship game's longer than other halftimes, but I'm sick of this. The games are too long. If it's too long for you, don't watch.
When is the national championship in college football going to go to a halftime show like they do at the Super Bowl?
Well, that costs too much money. They want to make. See, the NCAA is money hungry. They don't want to pay $100,000 to
It's
Lady Gaga to come sing.
But she would promote her record, her album, and not have to get paid. That's what the NFL was going to do at one time.
The NFL pays
But at one time they said we're not going to pay you.
And then nobody said they were showing up. They decided to pay again.
Okay.
Huh?
All right. Great game. 99 plays, 4 for 4 in the red zone for Clemson. The other magic number was 3. 2 turnovers that Alabama created. Normally they score touchdowns. Clemson only limited them to 3 points. And 4 wide receivers. 4 wide receivers catching at least 90 yards worth of passes. So Deshaun Watson spread it around. How good is that Mike Williams?
He and the other receiver declared for the draft today. I got a nugget for you. The last 7 national champions, and that includes Bama being more than once. Clemson beat them on the road this year.
Yeah,
they won at Auburn. They won at Florida State. They beat Ohio State on the road, beat Bama on the road. End of story.
How about Dabo Swinney beating Urban Meyer and Nick Saban back-to-back?
That's never been done before, by the way.
Never been done before.
I think Clemson deserves to be the national champion. No question about it. You tip your hat to them. I would think you should be ranked number 1 going into the next year until somebody beats you, but that's not going to happen. In fact, we're going to take a look at the final polls here in a second. But
Vegas loves them some Alabama.
Yeah.
And LSU's pretty well thought of by Vegas.
Yeah, and you've seen who Alabama opens the season with next year.
Florida State. That'll be 1 versus 2.
Yeah, so somebody's going to have a lot. Let's take a look at the college football polls, the final AP polls, the final coaches polls. Clemson, Alabama, you got a little change at 3 there with Southern Cal and Oklahoma.
Who do you put?
I put Oklahoma. They got the longest win streak in the nation now at 10, with Alabama losing. The longest win streak in the nation is Oklahoma. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are the same. AP poll, LSU 13. Coaches poll, LSU 14. Those are the final polls. And now they've already had all the way too early polls for next year. I've seen LSU anywhere from 5 to 20. And I haven't seen Clemson at number 1 in next year's polls, which it's way too early. But those are your usual names up there at the top of this poll, and teams other than Ohio State that they ended this. All the rest of them ended the season in fine fashion, except for Ohio State, who I don't know why they're up there.
I'd put Penn State ahead of Ohio State.
Absolutely. They beat them head up.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to start me on that
That's
again.
my only gripe with that whole poll.
I'd take Ohio State out of there, and I'm surprised they didn't put Notre Dame in. They always put Notre Dame in stuff. Why isn't Notre Dame 8th?
No, they couldn't do that. They were bad this year.
LSU, the highest ranking for an 8-win team since the 90s, since 94 and 95 when Southern Cal got it. Also, LSU football, that's 17 straight years with at least 8 wins. That's the longest streak in the Southeastern Conference. So some good stuff happening with LSU football.
Miles Orgeron now. Yep. Pretty good coaches.
Yeah, so tonight on the program, we're going to get into it. We got some other LSU football stats for you. Clemson scoring 5 touchdowns help LSU's stats. We'll explain that later. We'll talk some LSU, some more Bama, Clemson. We got to run through the LSU athletic department, getting busy out there with basketball. And Jordy, the number 1 ranked gymnastics team in the land.
That's right.
Baseball gets its second number 2 ranking in the nation. We'll talk about that tonight as well. got some guests for you tonight. We'll have Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com. He'll give us an update on the recruiting. A lot of big key visits for LSU this weekend. We'll also have Ronnie Rance, Sports Shorts Radio, Sports Shorts TV, and the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Foundation. So we got a lot for you on this week's edition of Tigers Roar.
At 12:01, the dead period ends at midnight tonight.
Which is
Coaches
Wednesday,
can go out and recruit starting Thursday.
Is there any truth
At 12:01, if I'm Ed Orgeron,
Chris Allen's
I would
driveway?
be somewhere with whoever it is.
Chris Allen,
the number one guy I
Southern
got to
Lab
get.
linebacker.
I would be at his doorstep, and I'd wake him up. Who wants you more than me, baby? Nobody.
He needs to be in Chris Allen's
That's what they do in the
driveway.
NBA, right? Free agency period?
Yeah. Go for it. Hey, I'm all about it.
Come
Go
on, Ed,
for it.
get there. 12:01.
We
Knock on the
remind
door.
you, the original airing of this program is on Wednesday, 8 to 10 each week. Cox Cable, AT&T, Uverse, internets at PelicanSportsTV.com. You got numerous replays throughout the state for the rest of the weekend. So if you're catching this on a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, you got a rebroadcast going. Things like Mike Scarborough's update, something could happen after that. We've been doing this 10 years. I think you understand the drill on that. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back, talk some LSU football for you. Right after this pause, Jordy Helberg, Tommy Christ saying, spread the roar. You're watching Tigers Roar on Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com. Stay with us.
Here at Rejuva-Me Medical, we strive to accomplish a more youthful you. We specialize in the most advanced techniques of testosterone replacement therapy in men, bioidentical hormone replacement in women, IV therapy, and nutritional support along with the state-of-the-art cosmetics procedures. Experience a network of trainers and health coaches offering diet and nutritional plans tailored to you. Call us today to schedule your free consultation to discuss your individual needs and goals. Look like you live younger.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
Perkins Road Veterinary Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital committed to your pet's health. We offer advanced diagnostic and therapeutic medical services, laser surgery, dog and cat diets, and treats, along with stress-free boarding. Dr. Ritchie sees patients for routine checkups to keep your loved ones happy, also advanced medical and surgical cases. We have separate condos for cat boarding and large climate-controlled canine boarding. Our boarding dogs get to have fun in a very large play yard several times a day. Laser therapy is a service that we offer to heal wounds and help our patients that suffer from chronic pain. Laser therapy is a wonderful adjunct treatment for neurologic and arthritic pain with no side effects. Your pets are family members and deserve the best and highest quality of care. Dr. Ritchie and his staff greatly respect the human-animal bond and are committed to exceeding your expectations.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net.
We continue with Tigers Roar here on Wednesday night. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Krysan with you. And we must show you the latest that we have here on the set from Tremonti's. Look at that rotisserie chicken there. Oh, I might eat it before the show's over.
No, you're not, because I'm taking that home with me. Every day around 4 o'clock for all those that work, these come right off the rotisserie. We have a heating unit where they stay nice and warm. Take it home with you and carve it up. It's juicy. It is delicious. That's every day. On the weekends, they do rotisserie ribs, which are as equally tender and as good. It's crawfish season as well. Go to Tremontis.com. You can find out everything there is to offer. You can call them at 751-7665. And they are still getting people in by the, I'm not exaggerating, every day people are coming in with their deer to get it processed. And they do a phenomenal job of making that sausage, whatever kind of flavor you want, they've got it. So just go to the website, Tremontis.com. They've got daily lunch specials every day, and they've got those rotisserie chickens every day as well. You talk about make your family happy, make you the king of your castle. Your wife or your husband doesn't have to cook. It's right there. They've got all the sides that you need as well. Oh, mouth-wateringly good. And keep your hands off of that thing.
I met with a guy this week, Jordy,
Get your hands off of that.
Who's going to
blocking you out.
The guy who's going to begin advertising with us on this program, and I showed him the Tremonti spot as a sample of what we can do. Mm-hmm. He said, Mike just processed my deer. Hey, it's a small world, right? Hey, and you know how I always talk about the sprinkle spice? I'm putting it on everything. I have a new thing I put it on, and it was out of this world. You ready for this?
Oh, God, I'm scared to ask.
Well, I told you I've been putting it on all the meat,
put it on
chicken,
everything.
Put it on
Don't
eggs,
tell me you put it on
vegetables.
cereal.
I put it on pizza.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I wore it out on that
I thought you were going to
pizza.
do something like cereal. I'm like,
Well,
whoa.
I've had Jack Daniels on cornflakes, but I hadn't done sprinkle spice yet.
Can we go to timeout? Can we go to break now? Can we go to a break?
Don't knock it.
You're saying crazy things on the air. Now you're talking about
the pizza with the sprinkle spice.
Awesome.
Oh,
awesome.
That was incredible. That was an incredible.
Now wait till you say their crawfish are phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yeah, crawfish are available. They're a little limited now. Read a report. The season's starting slow, but it's going to pick up. And Tremonti's.
Tremontis.com.
Take care of all your crawfish needs as well. Jordy, LSU football. It's all about recruiting. Some key visits coming up in a little bit later in the program. We will have Mike Scarborough, TigerBait.com, to give you the very latest. He's much more well versed in it than Jordy and I. That's why we're going to have him on here, obviously. Right. But Jordy. The LSU football season, everybody's had a little time to digest it. Now, DJ Chark going to come back. No announcement from Malachi Dupree yet. But as I heard somebody say, if you were an NFL guy, you'd rather Chark than Dupree. If Chark's coming back, Dupree should come back. Well, it don't work like that.
Doesn't work that way.
We'll see. They have until Monday,
January 16th, Martin Luther King Day, to declare or not.
To declare their intentions, and we haven't heard anything yet. And one thing I know the LSU staff is doing, they're working with the guys to help them make a good decision, and they're doing their pitch in there to get them to come back and tell them what would be in store for them if they came back.
And that determines how many scholarship offers you can get.
Because February 1,
if you lose Dupree, well, you got another one. So now you've got 19 commitments, and there's upwards, you could get 25, 26, 27 commitments in this class, depending. I saw an interesting thing today that the American Football Coaches Association having their convention right now, and then two things stood out to me. One, they voted unanimously to approve of a 10th full-time assistant coach in college football. 10. And the other one was involving recruiting. They all approved, and now this is not, it has to go to a vote, it has to go through a whole bunch of legal things to get it approved, but all the coaches approved of having an early signing date the third weekend of December. Not the early signing period of June, but in December, so they can get it out of the way before the holidays and after the conference championship games are played, and they can have a signing date then. So we'll see if that comes to fruition.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. That early signing date's been talked about for quite some time, and I've seen coaches make comments on both sides of it. Some of them are in favor, some of them against. I don't know who's what on that. I think when Les Miles, he was for it in something I read a while back. By the way, he's expressed interest in the Western Michigan job. Their coach, Coach Fleck, went to Minnesota. We don't know if Western Michigan's interested in him, but he appears to be.
You talk about a contrast of styles.
Quite different.
PJ Fleck to Les Miles. High energy, eating grass.
No.
That's something. You know, I know we'll talk about this later. I know that they will call you and ask you to help promote it, but the Bayou Recruiting Bash, February 1st.
Well, we can promote that now.
Okay, it's at the Atrium. Okay, it's at the Atrium. But this is the first year that I can recall in many a year where the hay's not in the barn. You know, and that's why I think attendance has been down, because everybody knew all the commitments were there. Right. But now with 19 commitments, maybe upwards of 8, 9, 10 more recruits that may not make their decision until that day. That means that's excitement. That's fun.
That's the Tiger Gridiron Club Bayou Bash, 22nd annual. Bella Baton Rouge Hotel Atrium, doors open 8:30. Program begins at 10:30. Coach Orgeron will greet the crowd at approximately 5:30. Call Tom Bro at the number on your screen or send him an email. Contact us here at the Pelican. We can push you towards him. VIP tables for 10 are available. General admission seats. 22nd annual Tiger Gridiron Club Bayou Bash. Be out there with the Tiger fans. Bella Baton Rouge Hotel Atrium.
I say it every time I see something like that. I never forget the first one in the field house at LSU.
Jerry DiNardo.
Yeah.
The fax machine paper you had to unroll all day.
That's right. It was amazing how far we have come.
Well, now, and you mentioned it, social media. I mean, people know.
All these kids tweet it out. Oh, there it is. Boom.
Well, Twitter's, I mean, I read where the PGA Tour is going to have like 20 of their events streaming on Twitter this year.
I don't understand.
You watch? I'm like I said earlier.
Look, Do
I want to watch a highlight or a quick interview on the phone? Yes. Have I done that? Yes. Do I want to watch the PGA Tour on a Sunday afternoon or a football game or a baseball game on my phone? No.
I've got the big look. My phone's much bigger than yours.
Yeah, and I don't want to watch.
And I don't want to watch it.
I mean, I'll do a highlight or a clip or sometimes an interview on there. I'll watch it.
I'll never forget this. When I was doing the Hornets, and we had these DVD players that they would hand out to, which was great. We'd all bring movies.
On the airplane.
Yeah, on the airplane. David West would bring his TV. He'd have a TV.
No, come on.
I swear to goodness. He would bring his box. He'd take the TV out, set it. It was like big. I said, man, you got to be kidding me. He's great. Unbelievable.
There you go. TV on the plane.
On the plane.
Now they probably all got a TV. These luxury planes now. Did you ever go on Cuban's plane for the Mavericks?
I did. I actually walked on it.
Was it beyond?
It's not that. No. I'm telling you, the Hornets plane was top shelf.
Better than Mavericks? But the Maverick locker room was better.
The greatest thing about the Mavericks, they would serve a hot meal after the game, and you could just walk in there and grab whatever you wanted. I mean, really good stuff.
Well, Saints used to do that in the Dome.
Yeah.
There was a
Pelicans. Hornets never did that.
Before the game. And
they'd have Texas barbecue and all, and I'd say, can I come in? He'd go, yeah, come on in, that's fine.
We go take a break.
The great Cuban, he would do his interviews before the game on his elliptical machine. He's sweating like crazy. We're talking. That's when he would do it. And he'd be out there shooting 2 hours before every game.
You know, he's the start of all this internet streaming stuff.
Oh, I know.
You know, that's how he became a gazillionaire.
Only worth a few
billion. He was
billions.
a student at Indiana University, and he thought it'd be cool if when the Indiana basketball team was on the road, and obviously that's big basketball country in the Big Ten, that the students could be able to hear it on their computer, and he figured out how to do that.
But how do you, I mean, saying it's one thing.
Figuring
out how to do it is the other.
That's how this whole thing started. Mark Cuban, as a student at Indiana University up there in Bloomington.
And this is Tigers Roar. We're talking about
Tigers Roar.
We're talking about Indiana, Bloomington.
Let's take a break, come back. We got some LSU football stuff for you when we return after this pause. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Krysan, Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
My first NCAA tournament game was in Bloomington, Indiana.
Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Acord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Acord Eye Clinic for an appointment.
225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Acord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Attention small business owners. Penn Funding announces the easiest and fastest business funding program, the Platinum Business Account.
We needed cash fast. Business is good, but this is an emergency. We needed some new equipment, and the banks wouldn't help us.
At Penn Funding, we like to say, yes, you're approved. With your Platinum Business Account, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more. This amazing new business account funding program is so effective, you could have the cash you need in just days.
I called, spoke with an agent who pre-qualified us, and connected me.
Call now for your Platinum Business Account. If you've been in business for at least 6 months, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more in just days.
I called Penn Funding and had my money fast.
Need cash for your business? Call Penn Funding now.
Call 800-552-8621. 800-552-8621.
We continue with Tigers Roar, and a couple of things on LSU football. Then we're going to let you hear from Jamal Adams. Darius Geis,
amazing,
Jordy,
amazing.
Only started 6 games. Leonard Fournette was hurt all year, hurt in the preseason camp, and was probably never 100%. Might have got close a couple of times, but he was never there. But Darius Geis, I mean, what this guy did on the football field, again, he only started 6 games. He ends up leading the Southeastern Conference in rushing yards, leading in all-purpose yards, the sophomore running back, all the accolades. And again, he only started 6 games. First Tiger running back to lead since Kevin Falk, and that was a pretty good one.
And he wasn't eligible for something because he didn't meet the minimum requirement of carries. So just imagine, well, he's terrific. He is terrific.
Yeah,
really
no
good.
question. Also, we mentioned it earlier. When Clemson put 5 touchdowns on the board against Alabama the other night, that pushed LSU up in some statistical categories on the defensive end. Coach Dave Aranda. LSU, now that the final stat book is done, it's completed, it's filled, all games are over, check out where LSU defense is with Coach Dave Aranda. Allowed 16 touchdowns, which is the fewest in the nation. That's 1.33 per game. Keep in mind, they only played 12 games because there were only 11 regular season games.
Right.
Number 3 in the nation, number 1 in the SEC in first downs allowed. Held opponents to less than 33% on third down conversions. That was number 2 in the SEC. LSU defense, I mean, I don't know what we could say that hadn't been said, but they've been magnificent statistically.
And I think they're going to be, they lose some players. There's no ifs, ands, buts, or maybes about that. They, Tre'Davious White, Jamal Adams, Devon Gottschall, Kendall Beckwith, Duke Riley. So they lose a bunch. But I think you got some players waiting in the wings, and I think that tradition is going to stay there. I think they're going to be just fine. And it's year 2 of Aranda's system, so all these players kind of know it. And I think they'll count on it. They can get some of the recruits that they believe they're going to get, and we'll talk with Mike Scarborough about that. They'll get them in positions of need. Defensive line they need. I think they're going to be fine at linebacker. I think they're going to get their share of linebackers. There's no reason why they can't. Or shouldn't.
Speaking of Jamal Adams, he had a press conference out at LSU the other day to declare his intentions to go to the NFL draft. If you hadn't seen a lot of interviews with Jamal Adams, you need to pay attention to this. This is a top-notch person, kid, student, all that. And by the way, a first-round draft choice projected to be, and I think he will be, in the NFL. So we want to share that with you now, because don't think that LSU coaches don't use this when recruiting student athletes to say, look at the kind of people that are here. Look where they go. Look what they do. Here, we want you to see the comments from Ed Orgeron and Jamal Adams. Here it is. Enjoy.
Welcome, everybody. So, Want to welcome George and Michelle, Jamal's parents. Great people. Want to welcome you, Coach Miles. Great to see you. You're important to LSU and always been important to all our lives, and we love you to death. But we're here to celebrate Jamal Adams. What a great Tiger. You know, he exemplifies our recruiting process. We want to recruit the state of Louisiana, get the great players in the state of Louisiana to come here, and to go out in the neighboring states first and get potential #1 draft choices. And we got that in Jamal. We got more than that in Jamal. We got a Tiger for life. We got a leader. You know, growing up watching LSU football, he reminds me of what a Tiger defensive player plays like, with tenacity, with speed, strike you, discipline, team leader. Had a chance to really observe Jamal for 2 years, and I watched him grow. I watched him grow into his coach, Corey Raymond, who I know he loves. I watched him grow into Dave Aranda's system, who we all think the world of. But most of all, I watched him grow to be a man that we can all be proud of. I know his parents are proud of. He has great character on and off the field. And I waited a while to name him team captain. And I wanted him to be the team captain for our biggest game of the year. And he did a tremendous job of leadership when we were practicing for the bowl. He did a tremendous job of leadership when we got down to Orlando. We had no problem turning over the leadership of our team to Jamal Adams. We thought that he played one of his best games against Lamar Jackson and one of our best defensive efforts all year. And it was a tribute to him and the way he led this football team and he led this defense. He's an All-American. He's a two-time All-SEC player. He has 37 games with 26 starts, 209 career tackles, 17.5 tackles for loss, 15 pass breakup, 5 interceptions, been in 2 top 10 defenses, on and on and on again. We all feel that Jamal will not only be an excellent NFL player, we'll feel that he has all pro capabilities and perhaps a Hall of Famer one day. I present to you Jamal Adams.
Thank you, Coach O, for those kind words. After deep prayer and consideration, my family and I have agreed that I would declare for the 2017 NFL Draft. The decision did not come easy, but with the support of my family and the people of LSU, I have been able to develop and grow into an athlete and a man that is prepared to take on this next chapter in my life. Before all, I would like to thank God. Without faith and the power of God, none of my opportunities would be possible. I would also like to thank my siblings for supporting me through everything. Thank you to my parents who have sacrificed so much in order for me to be granted with this opportunity. I am grateful for my mother, who has always shown me unconditional love. As for my father, I cannot think of a better role model and example. You being selected as the first-round draft pick by the Giants is something that has always filled me, made me eager to work, and made me feel like my goals were tangible because my own father have already achieved them. To Coach Mack, you have trained me since 7th grade, before I even knew I wanted to be a DB. It was you who made me fall in love with the position and molded me into the DB I am today. Thank you to Carlos and the Pullums. You coached me at a young age and made me physically and mentally tough. I would also like to thank Coach Brazel and Coach Hurd for molding me into the type of athlete schools look forward to offer scholarships to. Coach Hurd, you pushed me to limits that I didn't think I could reach, and since then I've set higher standards for myself in everything I do. Becoming a student athlete at LSU has been a life-changing decision. Thank you to Joe Oliva for all you do for this program. I would also like to thank the training staff, Jack, Mama Shelley, Andy, for putting my health and safety first, as well as always having open arms for whatever I needed, even if it was just to talk. Thank you to our equipment staff, as well as Doug and the video staff. To Coach Moffitt and Eric, thank you for always pushing me. I have become a better football player by the work I have put in the weight room and the lessons I have learned from you guys. I would also like to thank Coach Miles for the opportunity to come to LSU and be a Tiger. To Coach Pivotal, thank you for allowing my first start to come to LSU and start on special teams. You introduced me to college football. Chief, thanks for allowing me to get my first plays in as a true freshman. Coach Steele, thank you for stepping in for Chief and letting me be free and blitz. To Coach Aranda, thank you for teaching me how to be a smarter football player and being the first DC to never scream at me. To Coach Raymond, I can't thank you enough for molding me into the player I am today, showing me what it takes to excel as a DB. And Coach O, I remember when you recruited me at USC and you were saying I needed to be a Trojan. I have learned that everything happens for a purpose, and I'm grateful you were able to be my head coach and we ended up together. You are family now, and we are both forever LSU. Thank you to my teammates for helping me create unforgettable memories and bonds that cannot be broken. To my DBU family, I love you, and I am happy to be a part of a brotherhood that cannot be torn apart. To all my fans and LSU family, I could not imagine representing a better school or fan base. Each of you push me and serve as my motivation every day. I hope that I can make you proud as I start the next chapter in my life. I wouldn't change my experience as a Tiger for anything in the world. Thank you for all you have given me. I love y'all, and go Tigers.
Jamal, obviously a tough decision, but who was the most influential in this decision and why?
Hands down, my parents. I can't ask for a better group, couple, like my father and my mom. They've sacrificed so much for me, and things weren't always handed to me, like everybody seems to think, but they pushed me so much, and I can't thank them enough. Well, it was definitely tough. I wasn't that guy that Googled my name and looked at, NFL drafts and mock drafts. I wasn't worried about that, man. We went through so much as a team this year. Coach Miles, being fired, and it took a toll on everybody. I wanted to change the program. I didn't want the program to go down. We hit adversity that nobody will ever see, no one will ever go through as a team, and I wanted to finish as a winner. There's been people saying that, why were you saying Heisman and why were you saying this and that about returning, and it wasn't to try to trick anybody. It was to just stay focused and be where I am. I didn't want to be anywhere else. I wanted to focus on the team. I wanted to win. I wanted to, go out and beat Lamar Jackson and the Louisville Cardinals. And I was just focused on winning and finishing this strong. There's not been a time that I was focused on the league. But after the bowl game, I definitely sat down with my parents and family, and we talked. They gave their opinion, and at the end of the day, I prayed on it, and this is the right decision for me.
Jamal, here in the back, how important was it to you to have both Coach O and Coach Miles here with you today?
It's huge. I told my father to invite Coach Miles. I definitely wanted him here. Family guy, I love Coach Miles to death. I love Coach O to death. Two great guys, two great head coaches, and now it's just, it's a family and a bond that, never can be broken. To this day, I can call them anytime I need to, and, I really wish the best for both of them, and I know they're going to do tremendous things. I definitely do. I feel like that, you need an agent. A lot of people feel you don't need one, but there's certain things that, you don't want to worry about as a rookie, or while you're being drafted. So, they can handle those things on the side.
Obviously, this is a big step for you going to the NFL, but it also leaves LSU without half of their secondary. Have you thought about, kind of next year what these guys are going to be missing without you and Trey, and who could step up?
It's DBU. It's simple. So those guys, I know what they're capable of. You got Dante Jackson and Zay Lewis and Kevin Tolliver and John Battle and Greedy coming up and Cam and John, and it's so many people that can make an impact. And I think that the secondary is going to be fine. They have a wonderful coach, Coach Raymond. It's just, you just move on, So those guys know that they know what's at hand. That's funny because I texted them yesterday in a group message, and I told them don't let it slip. This DBU thing is something that we pride ourselves on. Everybody's chasing it. Everybody wants to be us, and that's our standard. And I think they're going to be ready for it.
Jamal, what are your plans now? Where will you train? Prepare for the NFL draft. What do you think you need to work on leading up to the combine?
Yeah, definitely. What I want to work on is it's really simple. Just bettering my 40. I think that's mainly the main thing that I'm focused on, and just becoming a pro. That's why I wanted to do a press conference. I think that when you take the next step in your life, something this big, I think it needs to be done the right way. I wanted to do the press conference, and this is my start. This is my day one of being a pro. So I would definitely be in Arizona at Exos training, and hopefully it's the right training for me, and I plan to go out and put on a show at the combine.
Jamal, when you reflect on your time at LSU, what stands out most?
My first big game, I'll never forget it, and it's unique because it's the game my freshman year against Kentucky, my dad's alma mater. Leading up to that game, I was playing a little bit. I was playing mainly on special teams. I would get in here and there on defense at the dime package, and that's why I love Mustang so much. Thank to Chief, but it was a play that really, I think, sparked and set the tone for my career at LSU. And it was when Tre'Davious White, he caught a punt, and I was coming down, and I made that huge block, and I think that that play just set the tone. I finished the game strong. I was kind of MVP of that game. And, from then on out, I never looked back. And the rest is history.
Jamal, we've seen Patrick Peterson be a mentor to a lot of guys coming out of LSU. Tyrann Mathieu, one of them. Do you have a mentor in mind in the NFL?
My father. He don't play DB, but yeah, Tyrann and Pat. I mainly talk to Tyrann. I talk to Ryan Clark. Really all of the DBs, Corey Webster. Those guys, I think that, they come around and not only to me, they come around and show love and talk to us, and anything we need, we kind of ask. So I really don't have a mentor like that certain one, but those guys are great guys. One day I hope to, be as good as them, and they're doing tremendous things.
Jamal's got time for one more. Ross, Jamal, when exactly did you make the decision, and how did you tell the teammates, or how you told them?
Yeah, I kind of made the decision before the Louisville game, but at the same time, I was kind of iffy. I sat down, after the Louisville game and with my parents and family. But I definitely, I told the team, I told most of the guys that, I loved them and, that I was moving on. But a lot of them joked with me and, said one more year. But, I made a decision and I'm moving on. Thank you.
We continue with Tigers Roar, as we said. Great kid, Jamal Adams.
My gosh. Well spoken.
Great chance to have an outstanding NFL career, no question about that. We're going to take a break, come back. Les Miles was in attendance at that presser, and we're going to get some comments from Jamal and Les Miles. And, of course, Les Miles is the one who brought him to Baton Rouge, to LSU. So we'll take a break, come back, tell you about our radio station, and let you hear from Les Miles, who says he's interested in the Western Michigan job. We shall see. Jordy Hilbert, Tommy Krysan, Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, Cox Cable, AT&T UVerse, PelicanSportsTV.com. Stay with us.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions Now.
Call 800-404-0966. 800-404-0966.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Here at Rejuva-Me Medical, we strive to accomplish a more youthful you. We specialize in the most advanced techniques of testosterone replacement therapy in men, bioidentical hormone replacement in women, IV therapy, and nutritional support along with the state-of-the-art cosmetics procedures. Experience a network of trainers and health coaches offering diet and nutritional plans tailored to you. Call us today to schedule your free consultation to discuss your individual needs and goals. Look like you live younger.
Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Accord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including OptiMap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Accord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net.
We continue with Tigers Roar, reminding you about the radio station WUBR. Get that TuneIn app. It's free. Put it on a smartphone. Search WUBR. Mark it as a favorite. And you got us 24/7. CBS Sports Radio. Jim Rome, Monday through Fridays, 11 to 1. Jordy Hultberg, Buddy Sanji, myself, Dave Scandaliato on Fridays during the week. Carlos Brown Saturday mornings. Louisiana Music Hall of Fame radio through the night. Check it out. You can get it on the computers, 9, 10 a.m. WUBR in Baton Rouge, part of the Pelican Broadcasting deal. Jordy, tell folks about your program in the afternoons in the Lafayette market.
On, 107.3 FM The Game. I was thinking about something. I was looking at that chicken, to be honest with you. 103.7 FM The Game from 2 to 4 each and every day, Monday through Friday, bringing all kind of sports to Acadian, particularly the LSU Tigers.
Well, and speaking of LSU, don't forget this Saturday, 4:30, Jordy and I will be sitting here again, the Pelican Sports post-game show right after LSU Bama on Saturday in the PMAC. I know they're tangling with A&M right now, but Saturday, 4:30, radio and TV, your calls, your texts, the Pelican Sports post-game show. I want you to check that out. We'll be right here on Saturday like we were last week. 4:30, give or take a minute or so. We'll see what Johnny Jones can do. Going back to the Jamal Adams topic, I mentioned the head coach who brought him to Baton Rouge, Les Miles, was in attendance. And
proud of Les for showing up. That couldn't have been easy to do.
Well, he said Jamal invited him.
Right.
So
parents
he
invited
the
him.
invite.
Absolutely.
So, hey, Les Miles is a class act.
Les was on time for that.
He was a class act.
Yes, he was.
I'll never say anything other than that about him as a man, as a person.
It couldn't have been easy, though.
Class act. But, well, the mere fact that he did that shows he's a class act.
No question.
But he was there. So here's some more comments from Jamal Adams and then the head coach who brought him in here, Les Miles.
What was your favorite memory playing football here?
Definitely, it wasn't even just the football. I would have to say just locker room talk and the bus rides and just leading up to the game, just chilling with the team and just enjoying memories.
What was your favorite locker room memory, would you say?
Probably right before we left, everybody was just dancing and clowning, just being ourselves and just being loose as we prepare for Louisville.
You have a very unique personality, obviously, on the field and off the field. What do you think that brought to your team as far as energy and in the game?
It brought a lot, but like I said, I didn't really feed off any negative energy to everybody. I always wanted to be positive, and they fed off of me, but sometimes I fed off of them. So the energy just came, and we rode with it.
So you said you're heading to Arizona?
I'm heading to Arizona.
How fast does that start? When do you leave?
On the 11th. So I'm gonna go home and to Dallas after this, and just relax, and then on the 11th, I'll be heading out.
Cool. Any more questions? What do you expect to get out of the NFL as a career?
So hopefully, you know, one day put on the gold jacket, and that's to be in the Hall of Fame. That's my goal, and you know, that's what I definitely want to get out of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's really just exactly right. So, and he had so much energy. He brought every practice up several notches.
You said his dad invited you here, or you were telling me about that phone call. He just called you up, or what did happen?
Yeah, well, I obviously know these guys, and they had my number, and so they said they're making an announcement. Would you please come? And I said absolutely, no question.
Was it strange walking in the building?
No. Strange is not the word. I enjoy the people in this building, and every time I go by a door, somebody that I'm pleased to see and embrace, and so I had a great time. Short visit, but a great time.
You're going to come back once a month and see us all?
Once a month, that's exactly right. I'm going to always make sure that the media are involved.
Speaking of media, will you be in the media soon?
I have no idea. We'll have to see that. When it goes forward, we'll make a decision in the future.
Well, how would you describe the last couple months for yourself, going around, and obviously you were interviewing for some places? You know, how has it been?
Well, I think it's. I met some really nice people and saw some great schools, and but I get to spend more time with my family than I have, and I've enjoyed that as well.
Is it disappointing that you might not be on a football field next season?
Well, it's something that I want to do, but it's you want an athletic director and a president that want you. If they don't want you, you're good. Okay, and the good news is I've seen some great places and know more what to look for. So no, I'm not disappointed.
LSU is about the biggest job you can possibly have. Is the prospects of being in any place else is that strange? Is it?
No, I probably had as much fun as anything when I was in Colorado with Bill McCartney, watching Bill McCartney orchestrate a build, and after that, when I went to Oklahoma State, I was fortunate to be with some assistant coaches and players who wanted to win for the first time, and we had good fortune to beat OU, and then we took the next step. But I think it's always it's more the relationship with the players, and then to increase the wins and then win championships, and I think that you can do that a lot.
There you have it, some good stuff there. Of course, the NFL draft, late April or May? Where is it this year? Do you even know? Chicago
Atlanta, again, maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, that's a spectacle. Now they're going to have a fan thing at draft. I mean, it's all a money grab.
Do you think Les Miles coaches again? I personally don't. I personally do not.
I don't think he's ever a head coach at a power conference school again. Now, Western Michigan's in the group of 5. But if he doesn't get a job this year...
Think he does a Bo Pelini like at Youngstown State,
well,
something like that?
If he doesn't get a job this year, the chances of getting a job go down. Because then he's away from the game. He is 65 years old, 63, whatever he is. But I don't know. Does he want... Pelini got Youngstown State to the national championship game. They got beat by James Madison. But, I don't know if he wants to be at Youngstown State or something like that. James Madison or I don't know, Western Michigan. He expressed interest in that on a national radio show.
I thought P.J. Fleck wouldn't go to Minnesota, and I thought Les Miles to Minnesota made a lot of sense. I didn't think Fleck would go there. I thought he was going to wait out and go bigger and better in the next year.
I agree with you, and why I think Minnesota would be a fit for Miles is they would be happy with 7 or 8 wins in a bowl game.
They'd be ecstatic.
7 or 8 wins and go to some bowl game in Mobile or something. They'd be fired up in Minnesota.
Far from me, just my opinion, and this is not an indictment on Les Miles in any way, shape, or form. I don't think he'd be good in television. Like some people are saying he would take over the Lee Corso role on that ESPN college game. You got to be quick. And Les talks slow and methodical, and you got to be hard like that. And I just don't think it would be a fit.
Well, and
I may be wrong.
And when you watch these national shows now, when they got 4, 5, 6 people, they shove it down your throat. They orchestrate it during the break. I'm going to talk to you. We're going right down the list, or they start on the other end and come this way. And they know if you're next, you got to start talking when that guy finishes because it's crammed in.
You got 10 seconds to get your point across.
Yeah, it's something else. So I agree with you on that. I mean, Les Miles is an outstanding human being. You know, hopefully he finds something to do that he wants to do.
He might get on the SEC network and do some studio role or something like that, if that's what he wants.
I think he'd be good on some kind of analyst role like that because he's been there, done that. They could ask him, well, Coach, you know, what do you tell your team when you're getting ready to play this?
I think they could use him in diagramming plays, analyzing plays. If they could teach him how to use that, that thing that they do now, and they have arrows and all that kind of stuff.
Now, can we be funny now?
Yeah.
Social media went nuts. Monday, he was on one of the radio shows pregame before Clemson and Alabama, and he got asked, Coach, what does Clemson have to do to beat Alabama? The social media went nuts.
Who is the person to ask him that question?
How would he know?
Yeah, why would somebody
what
do
you have
that?
to do to beat Alabama? I had to throw that in there. All right, we're going to take a break. Come back. We're going to take a run.
That is a shame.
We're going to take a run through the LSU athletic department when we come back after this pause on Pelican
just not
Sports
fair.
TV. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans.
How are you going to beat?
On the internet.
How do you beat Alabama?
Let's go to break. We got to laugh on that one.
Surfing through the channels with his little remote, wolfing down Cheetos. I hope he don't choke between Monday night football and Friday night fights. I'm lucky if I get to see a show that I like. He never hears the phone or the doorbell ring. I don't try to understand him. It's a male thing.
Since 1986, the family dental practice of Dr. Farrell Frugier, with state-of-the-art building and technology and our highly trained staff, have been dedicated to providing care and treatment to our patients of all ages. The experience and advanced training in cosmetic and restorative dentistry, TMJ, and treatment of snoring and sleep apnea allows Dr. Frugier to assist you in achieving the best in dental health. Call us today at 225-292-9700 to schedule your initial evaluation because we know how to make you smile.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name is Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Accord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Accord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
We continue with Tigers Roar. We remind you the original airing each week, Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Rebroadcast Thursday, Friday, Saturday across South Louisiana. YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. It'll be up mid-morning Thursday. You can watch it at your convenience, and lots of people have been doing that. We appreciate it. Time to take a run through the LSU athletic department, and we start with men's basketball. Of course, they're tangling with A&M as we speak. But Johnny Jones's team in a must-win situation, as is A&M.
That's right.
After the debacle against Mississippi State last week. 9-4 overall, 1-2 in league play. A&M 0-3, 8-6 overall, 0-3 in league play going into the game that's happening now. Got to start playing defense. Johnny suggested some possible changes. He's got to figure something out, Jordy.
Yeah, playing time is tantamount, and defense is not about skill. It's about desire. It's about attitude. It's about effort. I think Tiger fans want to see LSU basketball players dive on the floor for a loose ball, get in the way of somebody and take a charge, communicate, get down in the stance, and just play hard. You do that, good things will happen.
Yeah, if we can go back to that LSU men's basketball graphic, want to again point out and remind to you that this coming Saturday, January the 11th, January 14th, I'm sorry, they're at home against Alabama in the Pete Maravich Assembly Center.
2:30 tip.
2:30 tip, which means 4:30. We got the Pelican Sports post-game show, radio, TV, your calls, your texts. Immediately following that game, Jordy and I will be right here waiting for you to talk about the hoops as well as the other spring sports, football, recruiting, whatever it might be. So I wanted to mention that. Moving on in the LSU athletic department, women's basketball.
Pretty good.
Nikki Fargas's team had a really good pre-conference slate, and then they get a win against Arkansas. Got some a winnable game with Missouri coming up. Tough game with South
Carolina's really good.
Kentucky's good.
Here's the key: 3-game homestand. They're 13-3 overall, 2-1 in league play. They've got some really good players. Regine Moncrief coming off of an injury from a year ago, really playing well. They got the Southeastern Conference Player of the Week in Chloe Jackson, who had 22 points. They won in contrasting styles. The game before, their offense was in gear against Arkansas. They fell behind early. They battled back and won a defensive kind of a battle. She's doing a good job this year. She's got some depth. She's got a little bit of everything on this club. So look out. You know, she's been there 6 years. Been to 4 NCAA tournaments, 2 Sweet 16s. So, not bad.
Got to keep it up.
Yeah.
We know in women's basketball, the SEC among
Let me give you one guarantee.
Give me one guarantee.
UConn women's basketball doesn't lose.
They're undefeated champs?
90 straight.
Is that what it's
90 straight wins as of today. And they beat a top 25 team
by more than
70.
25, by 70?
By 70 plus. A top 25 ranked team by 70 plus.
Hey, talk a little LSU baseball.
Good luck with them.
Paul Tigers will begin practice on Friday, January 27th. By the way, Lillian Axe at the Texas Club in Baton Rouge that night, Friday the 27th.
You'll be there.
I'll be at that in that number. Go see Stevie Blaze. But
can you get me a ticket? I'll go.
You can come on over there and probably talk your way into it. Baseball preseason, the perfect game preseason poll came out and found LSU at number 2 behind TCU. They play each other March 10th over in Houston at Minute Maid Park. Tony Robichaux's Raging Cajuns ranked 13th. LSU was also number 2 in the collegiate baseball poll, which came out in December. Again, begin practice Friday the 27th. Season opener Friday the 17th against the Air Force Academy. Paul Maneri wants the head coach at Air Force. That'll be the lid lifter at Alec Box.
Lafayette, UL Lafayette opens up the same day against Southeastern.
In Hammond?
In Hammond. Let me ask you this.
On the newly artificial surface, everything in Hammond is now turfed except the outfield.
Okay, smart. Okay. LSU has a lot of people coming back. You know, one year they had all the pictures are back, but they lost all their everyday players. The next year, it was just the opposite. Now, this year, they've got just about everything in place. It's hard to get to the College World Series. But if they don't get there, is this a major disappointment for this LSU the baseball team?
Yes.
Okay, I think so.
You reminded me of something. Okay, and you're the bad. You got to answer this. College World Series champions, Coastal Carolina from Conway, South Carolina. Football champions, Clemson from Clemson, South Carolina. So which basketball team from the state of South Carolina can win the Final Four?
Nobody.
Frank Martin's team can't do it?
No,
okay.
No.
I mean, somebody over there got to step up, huh?
No, yeah, really.
I mean, they kind of becoming the champions over there, huh?
I got a funny feeling Calipari may be cutting down the nets again.
Probably so.
What a backcourt.
Don't sleep on UCLA. All right, gymnastics.
Number 1.
Hey, that's just great to be able to say you're the number 1 team. It's great to say you're going against the number 1 team. It's even better to say you are the number 1 team, and D.D. Bro's gymnastics teams are just that. Don't let those numbers fool you. That's a convincing victory in this gymnastics meet, 197 and change and 193 and change. That's like 48-7 in football.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a 30-point basketball win.
Yeah, and they've got to go on the road against the number 4 ranked Alabama team up there in Tuscaloosa this coming Friday night. D.D. Bro, the Lady Tiger Gymnastics, tip of the hat, ranked number 1 in the land.
I'm telling you. Cold weather, they still had a great crowd. I wasn't there, but I actually watched it on television. I'm like, I can't believe I'm actually doing this, but I did.
Everybody loves a winner. Speaking
Amen.
of Dee Bro,
Amen.
the gymnastics program, we got some information here for you. Got a little video for you. Okay, #1 in the nation, you got to give them some love. Here's a piece on Dee Bro and the Lady Tiger gymnastics team.
Fire-breathing dragon. Because she's a freshman. And she tends to get a little bit timid sometimes because she doesn't realize what a monster she is. And once she has that awakening and says, you know what, I'm going to be a force to be reckoned with, and she's going to step into her. But she's a fire-breathing dragon. Just wait.
The #2 Tigers put on a record-setting show to earn a win over the #9 Georgia Bulldogs in the PMAC on Friday night.
Huge victory. This was big. Our score tonight was extremely impressive.
LSU received their highest opening score in program history with a 197.825.
Our whole team did a great job of coming together, bringing the energy, just feeding off the fans, and we worked hard for tonight, and I think that we set the tone.
Before the action began, a banner was dropped from the ceiling to commemorate LSU's second-place finish in the NCAA Super 6 tournament last season, the program's highest finish in school history.
We are really preparing ourselves well. Our student athletes are committed to our mission, the journey that we've kind of set for us to travel. The support that we're getting from the athletic department is probably second to none in the country. So, I mean, the table is set for us to do well, and I think these kids realize that responsibility, and they give back to LSU every day they're in the gym.
Tiger TV Sports, I'm Sydney Roberts.
And being about the team and doing what's best for the team, and they did a great job of coming in here, and I think that we saw that reflected in last Friday's competition.
I was very excited to compete out for my first time. I had a lot of adrenaline, but it was for a good cause.
#1 feels good for any team, you know. So, but this team in particular, all of us, like I said, you know, we're hardworking and humble, and we know, and hungry to win and always be #1. So, you know, you can't let it get to your head. You can't let the #1, you know, stick up there, because at any given week anyone can do anything, and we're all competing against every school in the country, not just the person that's on the other side of the gym. So, I think we all know that. But yeah, it is a confidence booster for sure.
They're doing a tremendous job every day. They do everything we ask them to do in the gym and out of the gym, and it's Go Tiger time.
Tonight was really great. We had so many people in here. It was just really exciting to get back in front of the PMAC, in front of our home crowd. It was really awesome. We're so excited that we started off with such a high score. I think that it's a great starting point because we know that we have places that we can make corrections to, and that makes me even more excited to see what's going to come.
Tonight was awesome, and for it to be our opening meet is just kind of unbelievable, really, because you know we came out here and we weren't trying too hard, and we weren't acting like we had to win. We were literally just being ourselves, and that's really promising, I think.
I would say the end of the beam lineup, not my performance, but the whole thing overall. We've been working so hard at training beam, and it's such an important event. Just to be able to cap it off is such an honor, but we had a great lineup today, and we're really proud of that, and so I'm really excited.
All right, there you go, the gymnastics team. All right, we're going to head towards a break.
They're good.
Really good.
They got a chance to win the whole thing.
I hope they win the whole thing. When we come back, it's time for the recruiting. We told you we'd talk to Mike Scarborough at TigerBait.com, and we'll do just that when we return right after this pause on Pelican Sports TV. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Chrysan. Stay with us.
Spread the roar.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-383-8177. 800-383-8177.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net.
We continue with Tigers Roar. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Chrysan with you. It's time to talk recruiting. So we turn to the man with the plan, Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com. Good evening, Mike. How are you?
Hey, good evening. Glad to be with you guys.
So dead period ends Wednesday night, right? You know, a couple hours after this show ends at midnight. So I said it earlier, is Ed Orgeron going to be like at 12:01 at Chris Allen's door or Marvin Wilson's door? Can we do that?
I don't know if they're going to be at midnight, but they'll be, it's school's first thing in the morning.
Okay.
All right.
And then, of course, in-home visits and that sort of thing.
Mike, I know it's a busy time for you and TigerBait.com. We're going to jump right into it. Give us the very latest on the LSU football recruiting.
I think this LSU class, maybe looked a little shaky to some last month. But I think with the way that this staff is really worked very well during the dead period with a lot of, legal, technology use, means of communication, phone calls, texting, and so forth. I think they've come a long way with some kids, particularly the linebacker spot, which is such a need position. I think Jacob Phillips from Tennessee, who's committed to Oklahoma, I think they've got a better than average shot at flipping him. In fact, I just put out my probables and possibles to finish out this class.
Okay.
And I put him in the probable category.
All right. Who else did you put?
I think Chris Allen, of course, committed to Alabama the day after Orgeron was named permanent head coach. right there at Southern Lab in Baton Rouge, and just a really good football player. We wrote a story Saturday, and where he's basically giving legitimate interest to LSU. I know there's been a lot of great discussion between him and Coach Aranda and Austin Thomas, LSU's player personnel director. So I think that's come a long way, and I've got him in the possible category. So I think they're going to end up with some linebackers between Phillips and whether it's Allen or Willie Gay from Starkville, Mississippi, Tyler Taylor from Beaufort, Georgia, who's visiting. We'll see. I think, obviously Marvin Wilson is the big name on the board. I think LSU leads for him. I don't see him going anywhere but LSU. Then you still got Travis Etienne from Jennings, Phil Mathis from Neville, Todd Harris from Plaquemine, McMath, the wide receiver from Carr. And then we'll see at the end of the month, Justin Harris, the defensive end from East Ascension. I think Devonta Smith, I think they've made up some ground on him, but I still think Alabama might be the leader there.
Let me ask you this, Mike. LSU's at 19 commitments right here, right now. How many do you think they actually sign? And of those, can you break it down as far as how many of the remaining scholarships that are available, uncommitted players, how many are going to be defensive linemen? How many linebacker scholarships do they want? Where is this all going to be? How is it going to break down, in your opinion?
Well, I think they'd like 2 or 3 more defensive linemen, whether it's a combination of tackles and ends.
Okay.
Definitely want a minimum of 2 more linebackers.
Okay.
Another defensive back in Todd Harris. Another running back in Etienne.
Okay.
And then we keep hearing the max number is 27.
So you're at 6 right now. That would be 25.
Right.
So you need another wide receiver?
Yeah, McMath from Carr.
All right. So you got one more left.
Devonta Smith, if he wants, if they would have room for him.
Okay. All right.
Sure.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, and of course, if Dupree decides to leave, that opens up another spot, another scholarship.
That helps you with the 85, but it doesn't open up a spot in this class.
Okay.
Every year at signing day, there always seems to be someone who's been committed for a while that ends up turning and going somewhere else. Do you feel like there's someone in this committed group that may turn and go somewhere else, or do you feel pretty good about the 19 commitments?
I feel pretty good about the 19. I mean, that's not to say that something crazy won't happen. Because we've seen stuff happen. But,
sure.
I don't have any inkling that there's anybody on the board committed right now that they could be in danger of losing like that.
Who's more important, Marvin Wilson? If they could only get one, Marvin Wilson or Chris Allen?
Who? I say Marvin Wilson.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
But I mean,
that's your opinion, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could flip it around and make an argument for Chris Allen just as easy.
Well, you get Marvin Wilson and Tyler
Marvin Wilson simply because he's the number 2 overall prospect nationally and the number 1 defensive tackle. And he's a difference maker. The flip side of it is Chris Allen's an inside linebacker, and you've got no depth there.
Yeah. Let's get both. How about that? That'd be nice.
Yeah. I mean,
if they get that,
happens, Devin White gets a concussion or gets a broken collarbone. Boy, you.
Well, and let me say, Mike, let me tag on to what you just said. LSU fans this year got a perfect example of why you need depth. Leonard Fournette's not healthy. You got somebody like Darius Geist to come in. You got to be able to do that at all 22 positions, and if you do, that's how you win championships.
I know this is an arbitrary comment.
I think at the end of the day, this class is going to finish well. And then, when you start to analyze it and go position by position, there's a strong debate as to whether Austin Deculus can play tackle. Based on what I saw Under Armour, I think he's a guard, but we'll see. So, offensive line would have liked to have had a true left tackle prospect in the class. That big national running back isn't there. Cam Akers was a loss, but while it's a loss for LSU, it's an even bigger loss for Ole Miss. If you're an Ole Miss fan, you you lost the state of Mississippi's Leonard Fournette.
Good point.
Yeah, but Ole Miss is about to go into deep freeze, pardon the pun, from the NCAA, so maybe that has something to do with it.
While that's a blow, it's a bigger blow for Ole Miss than it is LSU. And that's where when last time we talked, I said, you start, looking, heck, what happens if Geis gets hurt? I mean, running backs get nicked.
Yeah.
Who's LSU's definite number two running back next year?
Don't have
Can he
one.
carry the load and LSU have an effective running game?
Yeah, you're right. This kind of went under the radar, but the American Football Coaches Association are having their meetings right now, and Todd Berry, involved in it, said that all the coaches unanimously approved of having an early signing date, but not in June, on the third Saturday or the third week of December. Do you think that flies, and do you think that makes any difference whatsoever?
Third week in December.
Yes.
Why wouldn't they do it the first week in December?
Conference championship games.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm not, or the middle of the month. Is it because they want to get to the dead period?
Probably so.
Probably on the front end of the dead period.
Officially before?
Right.
I don't know. That's getting so close to February. I guess you'll take it. I always thought if you had an early signing period, it'd be nice to have one the same day as the basketball signing day.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, and some coaches are on the record of being for an early signing period. Some are against, and I don't have the list in front of me, but it's going to get debated. And this is just coming from the Coaches Association. It still had to be passed by committees at the NCAA.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just preliminary stuff. This makes for an exciting February 1st, right? I mean, there's going to be a lot of speculation as to who's coming to LSU. Normally, like a year ago, we knew exactly who was coming, basically, except for maybe a surprise here and there. But there's a lot of question marks out there. Should be an interesting February 1st.
You still have question marks on the staff. Who's the special teams coach going to be?
Yeah.
Is Dennis Johnson definitely going to be the linebackers coach? Waiting to see on the 10 assistant rule that's going on at this meeting we just talked about.
Right.
Damian Craig,
Jabbar Jalouk.
Yeah, Jabbar Jalouk. Then plus the what's left on the recruiting board. It's going to be very interesting. I think the coming months between everything we just talked about, and I think spring football is going to be. We always say spring football is going to be interesting. I don't know if Orgeron does anything special to jazz up the spring game, but when you got a new offensive coordinator in Canada, that's where all the focus is going to be.
I was just disappointed we lost my guy. He decommitted. My boy Dinkelman, or whatever, the quarterback.
Yeah, and I'm surprised he went this long. It's when Miles got fired, when Orgeron got the job. First thing we all do is we get on the phone and we call recruits to get their opinion of what's transpired, and you never could talk to Dinkelman to get anything on the record or to find out where he stood. And of course, his offer and commitment was from Les Miles and Cam Cameron, and so I'm actually kind of shocked that he went this long. Honestly,
I'm with you.
Hey, Mike, I know it's a busy time for you. I do appreciate you joining us. Before you get out of here, tell everybody what's happening at TigerBait.com. It's very busy and going to be busy for a while.
Yeah, it is. It's not only this time of year, there's a lot of prospects that are hard to get on the phone. They want to go underground, but we're working them and working every angle we can. We've got our all-day chat that we do every Wednesday, and plus active on the boards. And you're seeing a lot of scholarship offers go out to 2018-19. You'll have the boys from the boot come up soon, junior days, spring football, and a lot more. And, of course, we're covering LSU basketball, too.
And baseball.
Brian Lavar's on his way to the PMAC now.
And baseball, a little over a month away. Baseball, softball, gymnastics is doing great. Y'all busy folks, Mike.
Never ends.
Definitely.
Never ends. You're the best, man. We appreciate
Mike,
your time.
But before you go, remind folks what you're doing on Wednesday with that all-day chat thing.
Yeah, we start our all-day chat in the morning or a little bit before noon, and then we run it all the way till about 10 o'clock at night. So Brian and I answer everybody's questions and participate in an all-day chat. So we usually have 3, 4, 5 pages of questions and answers by the end of the day.
All right, Mike, as always, appreciate it. We're going to hit you up a few more times in the coming weeks, and thank you so much for your time.
Hey, anytime. Good talking to you guys.
Talk to you soon, buddy. Thank you.
Mike does such a good job. I got to know Mike years ago. He appears a lot on Buddy's show.
What is a chat?
Chat?
Yeah.
All day chat.
It's
like a
where they pick up the phone,
board.
they call
No,
each other
it's all
and
on
chat.
The computer.
It's all on the computer.
You type your question, they type the answer, and it feeds right on through it.
I'll be darned.
You go on. Kind of like a message
They call that a
board.
chat.
Yeah, it's an all-day chat they do. If you're a member of TigerBait.com, you get in there and you have a screen name, and you can say, Mike, tell me about Chris Allen at Southern Lab.
See, if I told my dad, let's chat, he'd pick up the phone and we'd chat. We wouldn't do this.
It's a different world
Yeah.
now. Well, I told you, TV ratings on the College Football National Championship game were down. Not a lot, but down.
That's Alabama fatigue.
But the internet stream stuff was up 21%.
It's the best thing that happened was Alabama to lose. Alabama fatigue. They're tired of seeing Saban on the sideline.
Well, I mean,
somebody's got to beat them.
Well, Clemson did it. Clemson deserved to do it.
Great start to the 2017 year.
LSU opens up with BYU on September 2nd over in Houston.
Alabama opens up with Florida State in Atlanta.
Is that in Atlanta?
The brand new stadium.
The brand new stadium?
The brand new stadium.
Is that the first game in
First
that
game
deal?
in the brand new
Really?
stadium. Yes. Yes.
I saw like some pictures.
As soon as Atlanta Falcons lose, like this will be the last game this
If
weekend.
they lose.
No, even if they win. Because if they win, they got to go to.
No, not if
Green Bay
Dallas
wins.
loses.
Yeah, if Green Bay wins.
But no, and I saw when it was, I guess it was the SEC championship game, or it may have been the.
And they showed it right next door.
Yeah, and they showed it next door, and I'd already seen some renditions of it.
They just implode the
building.
building.
You can hit like a pitching wedge between the two buildings. They're close.
Oh, I know.
And they're going to make a parking lot out of the old Georgia Dome because you still have that convention center there.
Is the Astrodome still up, or they imploded that?
Somebody answered that for us.
Is it still up? The eighth wonder of the world?
I know
believe
for a while it was up.
The Georgia Dome is really in great shape. I can't believe they're just going to.
Well, they moved out of Fulton County Stadium and went into Turner Field. They get ready to destroy Turner Field and build a new baseball field over there.
Unbelievable.
And the Texas Rangers are knocking down Global Life Park, putting up $1 billion stadium on the other side of AT&T Stadium.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Atlanta, much like Houston, there will not be any time in our lifetimes that city will not have construction going on.
No.
Road construction, buildings going. It's crazy.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to tell you about Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. We're going to tell you about this rotisserie chicken here that I'm going to take home and eat. No, Jordy's
got
going to
my
take
name
home.
on it, baby.
But we're going to tell you all about Tremonti's when we return after this pause here on Tigers Roar. Spread the roar. Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Plus Benefits has an important message for all uninsured Americans. It's official. Health reform has now become law. Now, uninsured Americans can finally get the health coverage they need with significant prescription benefits. Have you been uninsured, denied coverage, or struggling to pay your health insurance? Well, not anymore. Now there's affordable options with real benefits for people just like you. We know health insurance cost and being denied coverage due to pre-existing conditions has created serious hardships for many Americans. But that's a thing of the past. If you're uninsured, struggling to afford, or have been denied health insurance, pick up the phone and call now. The call is free, and every caller will receive a free discount prescription savings card. Call Plus Benefits Health Insurance Helpline today and get the health insurance and prescription coverage you need. One call can change your life for the better.
Please call 800-351-1511. That is 800-351-1511.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal and she makes your dreams come true.
We continue with Tigers Roar. You've seen this rotisserie chicken in front of us all evening. It smells good, I can tell you that. And it came from Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. Jordy, tell us about this chicken and the many other great things about Mike's Place over there on Jefferson Highway.
12451 Old Jefferson Highway, where Segan Lane and Sherwood Forest kind of meet, and there's Airline Highway come down a little bit. Parkview Baptist Church and School are there. Come on down, you're right there. Go to Tremontis.com. You'll see everything on the menu, their catering, their deer processing, everything you want. Every day now, we've got these rotisserie chickens. Mike has a brand new machine, state-of-the-art, and every day around 4 o'clock, these will be out. They're simple. You just bring it home, carve it up. It is absolutely mouth-wateringly delicious. We'll do some smoked ribs the same way on the rotisserie as well, as tender as can be. Just one of the many, many things they have. They have daily lunch specials each and every day. Tomorrow is their world-famous jambalaya. Friday is fried catfish with crawfish etouffee on top. Saturday, ribs, baked beans, Texas toast, little salad, all reasonably priced. Crawfish season is here, so they've got crawfish. Just call them. If you want crawfish, call them 751-7665. Tell them what you want, and they'll take care of you from there. So Tremonti's, you've been inside the building. It's amazing all the stuff they have. I highly recommend this. I'm taking it home with me. It's a rotisserie chicken as tender and as succulent as you will ever put in your palate.
That's Tremontis.com. Good stuff over there. And every year I make a little personal vow to eat more crawfish than I did the year before.
Well, they'll have them for
crawfish and Tremontis, whether you want to get 5 pounds to take home and eat, or you want to have them boil them for a large group, they can do it all. They got the full catering.
And the thing, they'll provide the tent, the tables, the linens, the silverware, whatever you want. They can come to your site. They have all the mobile capabilities to do that as well. And they have a mobile unit that goes downtown when the weather gets better, and they serve their world-famous sandwiches and hamburgers and all that stuff downtown as well. So Tremonti's is here, there, everywhere.
All right, we looked it up during the break. We were wondering about the Houston Astrodome. It has not been totally demolished. A part of it was closed in 2008, and then parts of it, because of not being used, they did away with it. But then it was placed on the list for National Historic Places, which means you can't touch it.
That's right.
Talk about an underground parking ground and use the floor for something. But I am one of the many people who went to a Major League Baseball game in the old Houston Astrodome with that scoreboard, which was nothing but those neon light things now. And now, of course, you got video boards. But I remember watching Jimmy win the toy cannon and all them great.
You know what I remember
players.
about the Astrodome? The first college basketball game that was televised between UCLA and Houston, Lou Alcindor against Elvin Hayes, and Elvin Hayes in Houston with Guy Lewis coaching pulled off the upset of upsets and beat them in the Astrodome. Of course, UCLA came back later on that year and beat them to win the national title.
Wasn't there like 30 or 40,000 people at that game?
But they put it in the middle. They put it in the middle of the arena, and you couldn't see.
Yeah, and at the time, that was like a record by far.
Yeah. Dick Enberg on the call. It was great.
Enberg called that game?
Yeah, he called that game.
I remember something else from the Astrodome. Isn't that where Bobby Riggs played Billie Jean King?
That's exactly right.
Hey,
Battle of the Sexes.
Had to throw a little tennis
there
in
you
for
go.
you, huh?
Absolutely.
When's the last time you hit a tennis ball?
Ooh, it's been a while. It's been a while.
Couple years.
My knees are pretty bad
6,
now.
7 years ago, I used to go
my lateral. My knees are pretty bad from running up and down that hardwood so long.
A little bit. Hey, we'll take a break. Come back. We'll be joined by Ronnie Rance, Sports Shores Radio, Sports Shores TV. We'll get his thoughts on Alabama, Clemson, and that Tiger baseball season that's about 5 weeks or so away. Ronnie Rance will join us when we return with more. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Krysan, Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, and on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com. Stay with us.
I'm taking it with me, baby. Gone pecan. Gone pecan.
Hello. Hola. Ni hao.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Acord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams,
help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Accord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name is Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
Perkins Road Veterinary Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital committed to your pet's health. We offer advanced diagnostic and therapeutic medical services, laser surgery, dog and cat diets, and treats, along with stress-free boarding. Dr. Ritchie sees patients for routine checkups to keep your loved ones happy, also advanced medical and surgical cases. We have separate condos for cat boarding and large climate-controlled canine boarding. Our boarding dogs get to have fun in a very large play yard several times a day. Laser therapy is a service that we offer to heal wounds and help our patients that suffer from chronic pain. Laser therapy is a wonderful adjunct treatment for neurologic and arthritic pain with no side effects. Your pets are family members and deserve the best and highest quality of care. Dr. Ritchie and his staff greatly respect the human-animal bond and are committed to exceeding your expectations. Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net.
Since 1986, the family dental practice of Dr. Farrell Frugier, with state-of-the-art building and technology and our highly trained staff, have been dedicated to providing care and treatment to our patients of all ages. The experience and advanced training in cosmetic and restorative dentistry, TMJ, and treatment of snoring and sleep apnea allows Dr. Frugier to assist you in achieving the best in dental health. Call us today at 225-292-9700 to schedule your initial evaluation because we know how to make you smile.
By the radio station, WUBR. It's on the TuneIn app. Put it on the smartphone or go to tunein.com on the computer. And you got CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge, all the national stuff, including Jim Rome. Locally, during the week, Jordy Hultberg, Buddy Sanji, myself, Dave Scandaliato on Friday afternoons. On the weekends, Carlos Brown. He's there from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. And Louisiana Music Hall of Fame Radio through the night. Right there on WUBR. Check it out, spread the word about it, and again, free on the TuneIn app. Right now, we're joined by Ronnie Rant, Sports Shorts Radio, Sports Shorts TV, Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Foundation. Good evening, Ronnie. How are you?
Doing fantastic, fellas. Good to be talking to you.
You too, man. Happy New Year, buddy.
Your thoughts on the Alabama-Clemson game. Clemson wins the national championship. Your thoughts now that you've had a few days to think about it.
Well, it's taken a couple days, Tommy, to get over the fact that I really like the under. And,
you and Vegas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that didn't go so well with the 28 points in the fourth quarter. But hey, give Clemson a lot of credit. I mean, I really I thought that this Alabama defense was indestructible. I thought that they had motivation on their side from a year ago when Deshaun Watson exploited them. I thought they would have something new and different for them. And I thought with the Alabama offense not being so high-powered that they would go slow-paced and it would be low-scoring. And, I thought 24-17, 24-21. I thought Clemson would play them well and maybe even win the game. I just thought it would be low-scoring. I didn't expect it to be a similar type game like it was last year.
Mm-hmm. Tip of the hat to Clemson. I want to get on to something more near and dear to us, and that's LSU baseball. It just seems to me, Ronnie, and you know baseball far more than I would, but with those two studs coming back on the pitching mound, you got a lot of everyday players. I mean, if this team doesn't get to, and I know it's hard to get there, then you have to have some luck and good fortune, but if this team doesn't get to Omaha, is that a major disappointment with all the talent they have?
No, absolutely, 100%. This may be this is as much expectation as LSU baseball's ever had. I mean, there's been many years where they've been ranked in the top 3 in the country preseason, and the expectation was Omaha bust and then compete for a national championship. That's absolutely what this team should and needs to do. I can't remember at all, and it's never happened in the modern era of LSU baseball, but I'd be willing to even go back to the old days of Bud Black and whoever else, Joe Bill Adcock or whatever. There's never been a number 1, number 2 starter for 3 straight years.
Right.
In the history of LSU baseball, and that's what they're dealing with right now.
Do they have a number 3 starter, and do they have enough lefties in the bullpen?
I think they have enough of all of that. You've got a great pitching coach in Alan Dunn, and they've got tons of talent. They've got a new junior college flamethrower that throws 95, 96 miles an hour. They've got Newman back to close things out of the bullpen. I think, the lefty thing is a little overblown. It's nice if you got a Chris Cotton coming out of the bullpen to be able to get lefties out, but it's not necessary in college baseball to play the matchup game as much as some people do.
Okay.
Yeah, and in college baseball, Ronnie's right. There's more righty-lefty, lefty-righty stuff in the big leagues than there is in college, and that's just the way it is. So I agree with that point. Pretty tough schedule, Ronnie, including LSU number 2 in the Perfect Game poll today, 2 in the collegiate baseball poll in the end of December. Number 1, TCU. LSU plays them early part of March over in Houston, so a tough test on the road.
Yeah, and it's that's a cool series that they're doing over at Minute Maid. It's the SEC versus the Big 12. It's A&M, LSU, and Ole Miss taking on TCU, Texas Tech, and Baylor, I believe. Okay. So you got a good matchup situation over there on a neutral field, and even though it's a neutral field, LSU did so well in attendance 2 years ago. The Astros begged them to come back, and it just so happens that the minority owner for the Astros is a LSU graduate. I'm sure that helped get the Tigers back there. And then of course they got Wichita State coming in. This isn't Wichita State. Wichita State's coming for a 3-game series to Alec Box. This isn't the old Wichita State national contender, but it's still a solid team, and it's with a lot of history. That'll get the fans excited, and it'll be a good challenge for LSU going into SEC play.
Ronnie, Todd Butler still at Wichita State?
Yeah, he still is. He's hanging on by a thread. He really needs to have a good year this year. Wichita State hasn't been too good under Butler the last 2 years. He's a former McNeese State head coach, former longtime assistant at Alabama and Arkansas.
Ronnie, before you get out of here, tell us all about Sports Shorts TV, Sports Shorts Radio, and what's the very latest on the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Foundation.
Well, Sports Shorts TV, Mondays at 9, Tuesdays at 8, myself, Joel Davis, and other guests right here on Pelican. And, of course, Sports Shorts Radio, Mondays from 6 to 8. Buzzy Heidel, former national champion, myself, and Joel Davis. And with the Sports Hall of Fame, we're really excited. We're launching a Glory Road tour sponsored by Walk-Ons, 6 Walk-Ons locations, 6 cities across Louisiana. Our first stop will be February 24th over in Lake Charles. We got Charles Alexander, the great one, coming over there, along with some other Hall of Famers. And then we got February 16th here in Baton Rouge at the Walk-Ons on Burbank. Just talked to Rudy Macklin. He's going to be over there visiting with us on February 16th. It's from 6 to 8, and if anybody wants to buy a table, they're $500. The tickets are $75 a person, and you can contact me. Give me a call on my cell, 225-802-6040, or look me up on the website, LouisianaSportsHall.com, and send me an email. We'll get you all set up.
And, Ronnie, if they can contact us here at the Pelican, and I can get them pointed in your direction. Ronnie, as always, we appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. We'll visit again soon.
Okay, guys. Take
care, man.
All right, Jordy, have you been up to Natchitoches for the Hall of Fame yet?
I have.
Okay, I haven't done it. I got to do it. And I got a good friend lives in Natchitoches.
Owns a restaurant, I think.
Downtown down there, Corwin, Big C. So anyway, I got to get up there. I got to put that on the list.
I've got
one weekend when I'm usually busy on the weekends, but I got to make a time to go up there one day.
I'm doing 2 college basketball games
in Natchitoches.
In Natchitoches, so I'm
Demon Country.
I'm gonna hit you up on that restaurant.
Definitely make sure we make that connection for you. The Big C up in Natchitoches. Mamas and Papas downtown on the riverfront.
I think I ate there.
That's him. He
take
care of you.
Okay.
We're going to take our final break, come back, put a wrap on things. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Chrysan, right here on Pelican Sports TV. Spread the roar. This is Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
Attention small business owners. Penn Funding announces the easiest and fastest business funding program, the Platinum Business Account.
We needed cash fast. Business is good, but this is an emergency. We needed some new equipment, and the banks wouldn't help us.
At Penn Funding, we like to say, yes, you're approved. With your Platinum Business Account, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more. This amazing new business account funding program is so effective, you could have the cash you need in just days.
I called, spoke with an agent who pre-qualified us, and connected me.
Call now for your Platinum Business Account. If you've been in business for at least 6 months, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more in just days.
I called Penn Funding and had my money fast.
Need cash for your business? Call Penn Funding now.
Call 800-552-8621. 800-552-8621.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Accord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including OptiMap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Accord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
We continue with Tigers Roar, final segment. We remind you the original airing each week on a Wednesday night. If you're catching this Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, you got a rebroadcast going. YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcast. Mid-mornings on Thursdays, it's up there, so do check it out. Once again, we remind you this Saturday, right after LSU plays Alabama, 2:30 tip in the PMAC. Jordy and I will be right here, 4:30, give or take a minute, taking your phone calls, your text messages. We'll get a report from the PMAC. After the LSU-Bama game, it's the spring version of the Pelican Sports post-game show designed to talk about basketball. We'll talk about baseball and softball when they get going. We'll mention gymnastics. And, of course, around here you can always talk LSU football. Right now, recruiting, signing day bash on the 1st, and then spring practice, which will be interesting this year with Matt Canada. And they said their quarterback competition's wide open. So probably more interest in spring football this year than maybe in some other years. A, as a new head coach. B, as a new offensive coordinator.
Does Orgeron open up spring practice and let the media go and
I think
watch
he's
that?
going to let him in a little bit.
A little bit, I would think so.
Kind of like he did when he got the job. I think
He got a little bit tighter and tighter as the season went along.
He's going to pick and choose a little bit. I would think he lets him in some.
Yeah.
You know, it ain't going to be carte blanche, but he's going to let him in some.
It seems like since, that debacle in the Superdome against Alabama, the 21-zip shutout, to lose the national championship, I still think the greatest LSU football team that I've ever seen leading up to that game. Because of that defense and whatever. Talent. And then the years and years and years and the build up to the Alabama game and the depression afterwards and losing games after that. Now Miles is gone, Orgeron's in, Bama finally loses, and you feel like maybe you got a new lease on life. And there's hope now. They're still going to be great.
Well, let me say this.
But it seems to be a little they're mortals. They're not immortals.
Everybody in the SEC not named Alabama lost at least 4 football games this year.
Oh, I know.
There might still be a little gap there.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
Is that gap beginning to close? I would say yeah.
I would think
How
LSU
much does
stock,
it close? I don't know.
I think LSU stock is going this way. I think Ole Miss is going this way. I think Mississippi State's going this way. I think Arkansas and A&M are going this way. Auburn's kind of.
They got that quarterback coming in.
There's a lot of pressure on that one quarterback.
Stidham,
yeah, a lot of. But I think LSU's trending up, and I think they'll narrow the gap.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But look, they got a tough schedule
next year.
And
they got to put in the Hultberg principle.
Thank you.
Take the open date after Bama, not before. I never agree with you more about anything.
That's nice of you. It's awfully nice of you.
You're
not getting my chicken.
I was going to say, if I agree with something else,
chicken.
could I have this Tremonti's rotisserie chicken?
Not happening.
Well,
no,
I can just go over there tomorrow.
I'm giving you all that, so many things. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, that's still wearing my Tremonti's hat.
About 4 o'clock, they'll be out there every day.
4 o'clock?
4 o'clock.
Is that the magic time?
Well, it might be, just call. Call and see.
Well, if I go at 5, I know it'll be out.
Oh, it'll definitely be there.
Yeah.
Maybe. They might be gone.
Well, hey, backing it up, we want to thank Mike Scarborough, TigerBait.com, for joining us with the very latest on the recruiting stuff. Check out their website, TigerBait.com. Mike's going to be on a lot of radio and TV shows between now and February 1st. Not that he's not on them after that, but you know what I mean. Also, Ronnie Rance for joining us, and we appreciate you watching the program.
Yes, indeed.
And checking it out and telling folks about it, spreading the roar, whether you're catching it on YouTube or you're catching it on the Pelican or one of the other stations that runs it, WHNO-TV, Channel 20 out of New Orleans, 5 p.m. Fridays. The ETEL cable system, I get lots of feedback from Ascension Parish. Hey, it takes a lot of people to throw this thing together. On behalf of everybody on the Pelican Broadcasting crew, we thank you for watching and talking about us. He's Jordy Hultberg. I'm Tommy Christ. And Spread the Roar. Post-game show Saturday at 4:30. We'll talk to you then.
So long.
Attention small business owners. Penn Funding announces the easiest and fastest business funding program, the Platinum Business Account.
We needed cash fast. Business is good, but this is an emergency. We needed some new equipment, and the banks wouldn't help us.
At Penn Funding, we like to say, yes, you're approved. With your Platinum Business Account, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more. This amazing new business account funding program is so effective, you could have the cash you need in just days.
I called, spoke with an agent who pre-qualified us, and connected me.
Call now for your Platinum Business Account. If you've been in business for at least 6 months, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more in just days.
I called Penn Funding and had my money fast.
Need cash for your business? Call Penn Funding now.
Call 800-552-8621. 800-552-8621.